Hey, everybody. Welcome. I am Chris Gore. Welcome to another Film Threat watch party. You are in for a treat today. We have a packed house of very prestigious guests, and I'm so excited that you're going to be joining us today for this watch party of J.R. Bob Dobbs and the Church of the SubGenius. It is a documentary, and you will learn all about Bob. So say it with me, everybody. Praise Bob. Now, before we invite all of the guests we have, and we have a packed house, including the director of the documentary, Sandy Boone. She raced to get here, so I'm so excited that she made it. It's important for me to remind you all to get the movie. This really works. This is what they call a second screen experience. I have downloaded the film from Amazon. It's actually on special right now for $2.99 to rent. How can you beat that? $2.99 to rent. You can also buy it for like $8 on Amazon. I'll be watching on my iPad on the side here while everyone comments along. And speaking of comments, please post your comments and we will respond to those comments as the show goes. Look at this. We have a packed house. Clayton George, Obadiah, Robert Robinson. Look at this. Luke, that Donald guy, Hergborg. There's just comments up the wazoo. But before we respond to your comments, let me just bring everybody on, starting with Sandy. Sandy, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. I'm a little lagged, but I'm here.
I'm so happy that you made it. I know you raced to get here.
Yeah.
This is gonna be amazing. I don't think that we've ever had such a packed watch party.
Oh, great. I'm so glad the gang could make it. They were all like, oh, yes, we really want to do this. So.
and it's going to be fun to watch the movie with. I mean, you and I did a podcast together a few weeks ago, and it ran this week. And now we can finally enjoy the film all together with some of the people that are in the film. Ivan Stang. Right. Ivan Stang is here.
Is Philo Drummond?
So
the two founders are here. Where's Philo? There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess Hal couldn't make it on. He said he was having trouble with his. But did I see who else was there? Oh, Jason is my he's my writer and producer. And then we have Lauren, who's my editor. So she's here. Very exciting. Now y'all can yell at her if you're unhappy about something. No, I'm kidding. Mostly it's been compliments, but a few SubGenius have not been happy with their interviews. So anyway, so we'll see.
And
Onan showed up. All right.
Hey, everybody.
I'm glad you came.
Thank you so much. Thanks for everything.
Oh, Doug Wellman.
Hey. Secrets,
hey, Doug Wellman made it too.
Puzzling evidence.
Sure.
Yes, puzzling evidence. The original man that killed Bob.
That's right.
I have my co-host from Film Threat, Lauren Kling, is here.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's hear it for Lauren.
Hey, that's great.
And I think we've got room for one more, but this is packed. Let's see what we've got. The comments are coming in fast and furious. I'm going to throw them up, Sandy, and you can respond, or everyone respond. Here you go. Let's see.
Guys, they hear me all the time. I want y'all to chime in, okay? It's a total different perspective. Okay, good.
Hey, it's right winger.
Yeah.
No, wait, this way.
There. All right.
Okay, we got that out of the way. Icky twerp.
The first Slack reference. This is great.
Really cool. We just sit around and stare.
We've got some ringers in there.
Oh no! Well, say hi to everybody. Say hi to Robin, Alan.
Hey,
fanboy.
Look
howdy,
at this.
Howdy.
HTMO.
Look at all those little faces.
Look at it. You recognize some of these commenters?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Icky Twerp is here, Philo.
Yeah. Imagine
He's
that.
on the chat. Back from the grave.
Goodness, this is awesome. How can you tell how many people are chiming in?
There's currently, I don't know, we got a couple hundred people watching.
Okay.
You can comment from, Twitch or YouTube, wherever. But I do want to remind people running at the bottom, get the movie right now, J.R. Bob Dobbs and the Church of the SubGenius. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on video on demand platforms. And you can get more information at subgenius.com. So go to subgenius.com. I'm going to be doing a couple reminders. We're going to start watching the movie. So don't slack now. Go and get the movie and get ready. We're all going to press play about 5:15. So be prepared. 9 more minutes. So it's the countdown. Sandy, what do you want to say about this doc? What do you want to say about this doc for people? I know it was a huge hit at South by Southwest. That's where my editor, Alan Ng, saw the film at South by. But since then, it's been a wild ride.
I think it's perfect timing that it came out now in our situation, with our political situation and our crazy right-wing evangelists are scaring the hell out of everybody, and hearing from, I guess, Bob, they call him something else. and it's been pretty frightening, but I think this is the perfect timing to come out about cult practices in our politics. And also have a little fun with this. A little sugar will help the medicine go down. So, exactly. And I'm so excited that Jason and Lauren are with me, because they can answer questions that, I've had many interviews and I haven't really been able to. There's technical questions that they'll be great at. So,
great.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything before we get started?
Jason, Lauren?
The movie was shot
what camera we use?
You're in the center square.
I'm just kidding.
It's an HD when it's not on VHS, shot in my garage. Lauren and I shot a lot of it in our garage. Yeah. All the photos are shot on a VHS camera from Goodwill.
We share a garage.
Yeah.
In SubGenius fashion. Absolutely.
And the most thrilling part of the whole experience was hanging out at South by Southwest for our premiere party. So,
yeah, that was fun. And having the entire gang there.
And it's also in color.
It's in color, full color. We tried to
check technical stuff that you might not know.
Extra special camera secrets.
Yes. I'll show you the camera later if you want.
Yeah.
Only private chat. DM me.
Okay.
DM us.
Is this on the quiz?
Yes. Oh, Cal Robbins calling.
Yeah, he's calling me.
Let's
see what I can do.
He had
Hold the phone up to the camera.
The movie.
He has also
I
the
wish
best room.
we could put this conversation online.
It is on.
We could put
Well, no, Hal.
online.
We're on the internet.
The not you Hal rule sticking in would be funny to hear about. Philo's
And just
eating though.
Just to remind everybody, get the movie, get ready to press play.
All right.
Okay,
Hey,
where do we
Chris,
do it?
this reminds me of the time I was about 12 years old and my parents got together with their friends and got high and watched Up in Smoke. And I didn't know what was going on until much later.
Do you know what's going on now?
You're getting high and we're about to watch Up in Smoke.
That's right.
Buckle up.
All right.
Up your pipe.
And another quick thing, just a reminder to people watching, hey, share the video. As they say on the YouTube, please like and subscribe to the Film Threat YouTube channel. We do watch parties every Friday. We've got some amazing watch parties coming up. We're on December 4th, we're going to have Tony Hawk on our watch party for a documentary about the making of Tony Hawk Pro Skater. We have a Quentin Tarantino documentary that we're going to be doing a watch party for, and we'll have actors from Tarantino films. We've got some really fun and amazing watch parties, so join us. This one is incredibly special because I remember being back in Michigan in the 80s and seeing Bob, the image of Bob everywhere in punk fanzines, on stickers, on T-shirts. It was like this pervasive, weird thing that image of him with it just, for some reason, it just appeared in sort of alternative press and all over. It was just so pervasive. I mean, it was I don't know. It was just amazing. And then learning the whole story behind it through your documentary, Sandy, was just like, because I didn't know the whole story behind it.
Oh.
You know, I knew it was a joke. I knew it was a joke, but I also fear that, like, well, no, it's not a joke. It's not like, you know, just
SteamYard.
the reverence and the seriousness that people took was pretty incredible.
And you notice Philo said nothing to counter what you said.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, good. Oh, wait.
Sounds accurate to me.
Well, I mean, I'm in Detroit, a kid in the 80s, and this thing is sort of blows up. It just became a part of, you know, alternative culture in every form. Like I said, stickers, fanzines, you know, T-shirts. Just, I don't know if that was official merchandise. I'm embarrassed to say.
We had a couple of large revivals in Chicago.
Oh, really?
In the early or late 80s. We had we had a convention there. The second SubGenius convention was in Chicago, and then we did a couple of short, like smaller concerts there. Yeah, so
They were
maybe
smaller
some of
people.
them not even had made. Some of that stuff actually made the movie, the Chicago Subcon. It was big. We stayed in the Continental Hotel, you know, the one that has the Masonic Lodge built into it. Are you familiar with that? There's a used to be a hotel. It's still there in downtown Chicago. That had a Masonic Lodge built into it.
Wait, we should listen in. I think Ivan is on the phone with his cable company.
Yeah, but Hal just gave up.
Hal should be appearing any minute.
Oh.
Hal was finally. I walked him through it. He was able to connect, and I think he's probably in line. There we go.
There he is.
Ah, you can see me. Great.
Yeah.
Well, Google wasn't able to prevent me from getting on, although it tried.
Google didn't have anything to do with it, Hal.
Well,
You don't think they did?
they said that I wasn't who I was supposed to be, and they weren't going to let me on. That was what the message was. But we don't need to talk about that.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm really happy to be able to see the movie again, and I guess we're going to. Do we get to talk during it, or is that a bad idea?
No, that's the whole idea. So
Yeah.
I have the movie, and this is for you and also everyone else. I have the movie on my iPad next to me. So download the film in whatever form you want to see it. You can rent it on Amazon right now for $2.99. That's a bargain. Or you can buy it as well on the video on demand platforms. We're going to watch the film. We'll keep the audio kind of low, and you will all be providing a running commentary of the film, divulging all of the secrets, everything that didn't get to make it in the film, the process. You'll also be answering questions from the chat, and I'll be throwing up questions from the chat.
Where all the bodies are buried. Well, this is time to bring it out into the light.
That's exactly right. And some of these chat questions are detailed.
Yeah. Between me and some girl. It's not even
Joshua here throwing down some secrets. That's pretty interesting. And it's preserved forever ever on the internet. Uh-oh.
Yes, so be careful what you say.
So do you remember marrying them, Stang?
I've done that so many times. I do remember which kid. I remember Kid Ginsu.
Okay.
But I don't remember all of the weddings I performed at all of those bars in the 90s.
Me either. I've done
a lot of weddings. Well, a lot of times they were mass weddings. You know, we'd wed everyone in the bar to each other, or to whatever their bride or groom or of the evening would be, for a 24-hour period. So
You
it
see, we
wasn't
have short
binding.
duration marriages.
Yeah,
That's
short duration
one of our
marriage.
sacraments, and they can choose the amount of time they wish to be married. It's 20 years with some and 10 minutes with others.
That was a
Some of them got
Pastor,
married for 20 minutes and then they got divorced in like 10 minutes.
That's where the money is in divorces, but we can't turn you into a lawyer overnight, only a preacher.
Yes, although that's been tried. We tried the short-term divorce thing too.
Okay. I know someone said move the comments down. I'll do my best. We're using this application called StreamYard to do our live stream, and sometimes the spacing when we have this many people, it's not totally perfect. So I'll do my best to kind of manage it. But once the movie starts, I'm just going to get out of the way and let you take the reins. I will throw up the comments if you'd like me to. I don't know. I'm just super excited about it. We're getting really close to getting ready to press play. Another quick reminder, I'm going to run the scroll. You can get information at subgenius.com. All right. And you can rent the movie and or purchase the movie on video on demand platforms. Amazon Prime is my personal choice. And look, send money.
Stang, here's my
We
money.
always knew it would come.
Okay. Are we getting ready? Do we feel comfortable? Do we feel ready, folks? Are we ready to press play? What about people in the chat? What about people in the chat? Are you ready?
Jason's just grabbing a charger. Here he is.
Okay.
And someone's just here to read the comments.
They're awfully big.
I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could fix that. For some reason, I can't fix that. But
How about that little forward arrow? What does that do for us?
I don't know. If you look, if you have any tips on how to do this, please let me know.
I'm the last one to ask.
I'm doing my best. My best. Okay.
Tab A into tab B. There you go.
Okay, so you know what? I think when VJ Pussycat says ready, I think we're all ready.
Okay.
So
There we go.
why don't we get right into this? Would you like to do a countdown, Sandy? Give us a 3, 2, 1, and we'll press play.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Presto. Blast off.
Ignition, lift off.
Didn't happen.
Oh, it's probably happening, and it's great good time.
In the alternate universe, it's happening.
Ooh, uncorked entertainment.
Ah.
What are we watching?
Yeah.
Teresa just kind of fell into this.
Yeah.
I'm actually watching on a completely different browser. I've got YouTube up on one browser to look at the comments. I've got Chrome running this chat thing, and then I'm looking at the movie on yet another browser.
Well, the movie is now running, huh?
It is.
So
I'm running my copy of the movie.
Oh,
Okay. But
Yeah.
all right.
Who's that guy on the bike?
I mean, on Amazon.
Right.
Is your mic working?
Who's the guy on the bike?
That's Reverend Cosmac. Reverend
Okay.
Cosmac. When this movie starts, SubGenius's hearts drop because it just looks so bland. There's nobody there, it's just these nerds on bicycles. But what the clown is saying in the background instantly wins the audience over. That business about this is going to be your last masturbation. Make it a good one. That instantly wins the audience. And all the SubGeniuses go, oh, whew, it's going to be okay.
that would be the Reverend David Apocalypse.
Yes, he was the voice of that. Yeah, too bad he didn't make it into the movie otherwise. But
He terrified my girlfriend today.
He's in plenty of Burning Man stuff, or in my stuff.
Did everyone create their own names, or was that assigned?
No,
Bob gives us all of our names. He makes us wear
Got
those.
it.
He gives us a new name. He just makes them up off the top of his head and
Yeah.
makes us
So
tattoo them.
ridiculous.
They're tattooed into a part of our body that I'd rather not go into
You're the
or have
SubGenius.
anything go into.
Babies don't get to name themselves.
Near the SubGenius area, is that what you said?
Near the SubGenius, the area that the SubGenius soul is located in.
Nice.
Yeah, the film crew dared to come out to Wisteria in southern Ohio, which is actually really hard to find, hard to get to. Not a lot of fancy motels in the area. Almost everybody's camping. We make it as hard as possible on our followers to follow.
It is a seething tropical hell, insect infested.
Yeah, well, it's July.
Mosquitoes,
Yeah.
all kinds of horrible creatures there.
Yes,
torment
it
you
is.
at night. Some are even
At
human,
this
semi-human.
But at that campground, you're free to wear anything you want or nothing at all. And
Right.
we're allowed to make a lot of ugly noise really late at night.
which is good for some of us.
Oh, yeah.
We made ugly noises?
Well, it's all relative. Depends on where you stand.
At this particular X day, after I left, I was in the shower and I saw that I had 3 ticks on me from this campsite. It's a real campsite. I told Philo about it and he said, next year try for 5.
God.
The ticks can be pretty overbearing, but like everything else, it's just part of the gauntlet that you have to run.
Yeah.
It's in this world of clocks, it's all ticks and talks.
These collage things are very much like our first SubGenius documentary, Arise, which, by the way, Film Threat about 40 years ago called one of the 10 essential underground movies. Thank you, Chris. That made us feel very, very, very good, because most people didn't like it. But the way Lauren and them put the all this clip art stuff together, it looks, some of it is from our movie, but otherwise it looks just like it's from our stuff, kind of.
That's the SubGenius art style.
Right. Well, yeah. Like our books have drawings by Dr. Howell and Paul Mavrides and John Hagenbrenner and other people that look like clip art that we stole, but they're not. That we did steal some clip art, but it's clip art, so it's not stealing. And we faked our clip art, but the artists did. Philo and I don't have those skills.
It's just doing literally what art does actually, because art is synthesis. Art naturally combines all these different elements in its own way, but we do it overtly, without the pretense of the auteur.
Yeah, and of course, I'm sure the lawyers went absolutely berserk over all these clips. When I did a film like this, made of clips, I had to turn in a sheet that more or less pretended to explain where every clip was from. Luckily, it was mostly really obscure things, Japanese movies and silent movies and things nobody really paid attention to. It's kind of off the radar. And plus, hardly anybody saw that movie. So it
What movie was that?
Arise, the SubGenius movie, the one.
The various early versions.
Well,
our sheet for this is 20 pages long. About
ours was the movie to recruit SubGeniuses that were already recruited. It took Sandy to do a movie that would recruit SubGeniuses that didn't know a thing about it.
Latent SubGenius.
We were too close to it. I did. We did have.
Yours.
I had 60 hours worth of footage, and they had access to all of that. And Lauren and Jason there helped make sense of that morass of stuff. It's the most amazing organizing job I've ever seen. I can say, because I'm a professional documentary filmmaker by trade, or I used to be.
Yeah.
And so where are you at in the movie right now? Anybody want to give me an update?
Yeah, because I don't have it on.
We saw the title a second ago.
We're about 7 minutes in. We're about 7 minutes in.
7 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
going to
in
speed mine up to 7 minutes.
It's showing us. Right now, it's showing this ugly old man with a long white beard.
Very
Yeah, what
similar.
Oh,
happened?
now he's a little kid.
You know,
What
He
happened
was
to
cute
that
when he was a
guy?
kid.
That's what
Look at
religious
those-
guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is strange for some of us to watch because it's got a time machine aspect to it. You know, that Philo. I'm looking at Philo when he was 17, and then there's me at 65.
I think we're in the same spot.
There you
There's
are.
my mom and dad, my kid, my parent. No, that's not my kids. That's me.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like a time machine for us. You know, it's got footage from our whole lives. And so we age a great deal during the course of this thing, going back and forth. It's kind of a
But then we
Dorian Gray.
youthen next shot. After we age, we youthen when it comes back to an earlier shot.
Euthanasia.
Sometimes I look at the old footage and I go, where did Sandy find these handsome young actors who look so much like us?
Central casting.
And
We
to
did
the-
we did one movie that took
right?
Kidding?
we did one movie that took 30 years to complete.
That's right. Great movie too.
Yes, Bob's Lunch Hour, isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's on my YouTube
30
channel,
years.
and
Listening to the ongoing commentary.
it's on Philo's Roku channel.
And I can say to the subgeniuses out there who feel miserable about their lives today, it's not that it'll get better, it'll just get less worse. And if you start documenting yourself like we did, you'll find that out. Oh, I'm so ugly. That's teenage Onan, but no. This.
Handsome and mature gentleman.
Editor,
Yeah, there's a lot of my old home movies in here. They, you know, some of them are actually staged, like we were trying to make a little movie. Clockwork Orange was a big influence in the early 70s.
Yeah.
That's true.
Harold Maude, President's Analyst, Roi du Coeur, King of Hearts.
The Magic Christian. There's
Yeah.
great, all those crazy movies. But
All
Little
James
Big
Bond
Man.
movies with Sean Connery. All movies with Sean Connery.
I wanted to be a movie director when I grew up,
Because of Sean Connery.
but I got sidetracked.
By Sean
well, you
Connery.
achieved that in the next generation.
Yeah, my son is a movie director, an actual movie director.
Maybe if I sit on something. we
And
can be
Sandy is an actual movie
seen
director.
on this screen.
Yeah. So where are we in the movie so I can get there?
Oh, it's just a bunch of old guys talking.
well, we're
It's that
looking at
old
the,
ugly guy with the beard again.
9 minutes.
and you're talking about the
45.
little Jack Chick comics, the Chick Tracks. Do you remember Chick Tracks?
Oh,
yes, they're
Are you
very.
kidding?
They scared the crap out of me as a kid. Every time
SubGenius made a movie on Jack Chick's tracks, and he went and met Jack Chick, was allowed into Jack Chick's war room, and was even depicted himself in a Jack Chick track.
Yeah, the movie is called God's Cartoonist. It's really funny and informative. Hal and I both have a lot of commentary in it. We're very tastefully talk around the fact that Jack Chick was completely insane.
It's still going on. His people are still churning out those tracks, but Jack is with the angel.
Yeah, this is Papa Joe Mama. Kurt Kirsteiner in this movie is the guy we're talking about that did the documentary about Jack Chick. He infiltrated the Chick cult and was his friend. He almost talked him into doing a comic about SubGenius, but the great man was busy illustrating the Bible by that time.
Well, Jack said, I'll pray on it. In other words,
Right. Yeah, well, you know what that means.
yes,
Yeah,
but he
no.
was
Go away,
letting
kid.
Kurt down in a tactful way.
Yeah, I'll pray on it means
That
scram.
works at tax time too. If the IRS comes, you can just say, I'm going to pray on it. It works.
You have my thoughts and prayers,
Yeah.
Uncle Sugar. And see if that
The
works.
Lord will answer.
Executive.
Boy,
Like
my house was so much cleaner that year.
of the movie in the background.
You know, some of the stuff is from Arise, And of course, a lot of it's from video cameras and film cameras I was shooting. And I noticed I don't actually get credit for photography or editing in this thing.
Oh, for goodness sake.
But I did shoot a lot of it.
Yeah, I too want to do the Brady Bunch thing.
There's an email you can send complaints about the movie to.
Oh.
It's Lauren H. Sanders at gmail.com.
No, you did a great job.
I actually didn't handle the credits. So.
Everything but the credits.
We admire your work, Ivan. Your films are great.
I'm kidding. I mean, it's I was so happy to be able to help. Really.
How about if I say every time an edit was yours, I'll point it out.
No, that's okay. I recognize which ones are mine. You did a lot more of them on this one, and frankly, you improved it all a whole lot, Lauren.
Well, thank you very much.
Perhaps
we were inspired by you all.
That's right.
Without you.
Because we're so cool.
It keeps showing this guy with a pipe.
Who's that?
Yeah, I'm on the San Francisco Bridge and the train's coming through. Is that where y'all are at?
No.
Paul McGreedy's just started talking.
We're on pamphlets.
You're right. What I'm seeing is the shots of the pamphlet from Invasion of the Aluminum People.
That was my late husband's film. All right.
Right. I know those shots.
Okay.
Now it's just pictures of another old man with a ponytail talking.
I see brains.
The 13-minute mark.
And then more pictures of the same old men when they were young.
So Paul McGreedy's hasn't come on yet.
No.
In a few minutes, I'm going to press the button to scramble everybody, and we're going to start it all at different points again.
What day? Hey, what day is it?
All day long.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, of course.
What day is it today?
Sandy, you're about pi r squared seconds ahead of everybody else. 3.14159.
Now I'm seeing Paul Mavrides for the first time, I think.
Really, I'm not.
And
but
that footage from that special, ABC did a little special with him in it.
There's a lot of versions of the movie out there, just to be tricky.
Well, this wasn't the movie. This was a Nightline episode featuring Paul as one of America's treasures. No kidding.
Yeah.
With
Absolute first time I heard about SubGenius was
Wish I had a copy of that.
What's Up America.
I have a VHS copy of that. Yeah, I have a VHS copy of that show. Yeah.
Yep. My friend who had cable the next day said, Onan, I think this is for you. And they were right.
Wow.
That What's Up America thing was the best little short about us for about 30 years. There were a lot more after that, but they were silly. Larry Silkus did that one for Showtime and really did a fabulous job of it. And I got to keep the 3/4-inch tape footage. I have all the original camera stuff of that.
It can go into your tomb with you when you die.
I got to keep it too.
Yeah.
That's where all my
Hey, Reverend Stang, did you notice that Al was wearing a hat?
Money to the same post office box?
Sure.
Does that post office box still exist?
What?
Yes.
No.
It's changed a little bit. It's shorter now. The post office box is much shorter.
That's
It's
good,
807.
Yeah, your forehead is safe now.
We had a problem with Jesus of Nazareth, who lost the post office box originally, but
It's out there in the desert somewhere, getting kicked around by separatists.
Now, Nurse Vicky lives in Oregon, and the funny thing is, I had never met her until the after party after South by Southwest.
He can't even
kind of said, "Hey, I saw you in the film. Where are you from? Oregon. Me too." And a few months after that, I went down. We hung out and had dinner together.
turned out she lived across the street.
That's right, for 15 years.
She was one of the nurses present at the original Night of Slack, which is there's footage from that shown in the movie.
And also, I had her interview you in that early black and white TV studio.
That's correct, on Puzzling Evidence TV. That also is.
There's Baby Onan. I'm looking at Baby Onan Canabite right now.
Oh,
he's so kissy.
I'm looking at baby Byron Werner.
Yeah, me too. Byron just appeared showing his famous potatoes comments. I'm wearing a Byron Werner shirt. Look.
Oh, how about that?
That's his band, Rural War Room.
It's a good one.
He was wearing a Janer Hypercleats shirt for his interview. That's an inside joke. It was a rebellious act.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand Janer's all gone for Trump now, and
what?
Yes, he's trying to get onto my online show, but we're withholding the decision.
One of the other
There's Baby Onan again.
of having all this footage from the different eras of the Church of the SubGenius is that you get to see a prank that it's taken me decades to pull off. I wear that same pink shirt at every SubGenius event for decades in the hope that someone like Sandy would come along, put it all together, and make it look like the church is artificially aging me rapidly.
Well, of course it is, but
it worked. It definitely worked because you look old now.
It's reminiscent of that Simpsons episode where Homer wears a pink shirt, which throws everything into chaos. But we'd only wear something pink in a satirical way.
The pink for me is the background that the church stands out from.
Then we just all
more dim kind pills, Bob.
Yes.
You're wearing the wrong shirt now, Onan, it says in the comments. Where's your picture now?
Now mine is showing buck naked preaching at that 1981 sub convention.
He was a true SubGenius.
Is there an official name for the sound you make when you hit your Adam's apple?
It's called the SubGenius.
That's the salute.
That's
the
salute.
That was one of the first things that we came up with. It was almost like the salute came first, and then we had to come up with a club to go with the salute.
It's a sound effect heard in Warner Brothers cartoons, which was by Bob Clampett in that same way for the cartoon.
When we were doing when we first started doing those CB radio harassment pranks, that's where we started it. It wasn't actually the salute yet, but we were talking like aliens. We were saying, "Man of Earth, man of Earth."
That's right.
We seeded this planet 10 million years ago.
People of Earth, attention.
Well, that's SpongeBob SquarePants. The actor Tom Kenny does that when he's doing the voice, so he may be a church member.
That's the underwater voice effect.
No doubt.
The real SubGeniuses punch themselves in the throat once.
It does great damage.
That's 5 years old.
And then I saw one double do their throat and their lips at the same time.
Yeah, I'm looking at a demonstration of a whole crowd of people doing it.
Yeah, that costs extra if you do it that way.
At 21 minutes, you'll see footage from the Chicago Subcon.
If you're watching the movie, that is.
Yeah, I'm seeing the Chicago Subcon too.
Is this when they're slamming things with noise?
What?
Anti-music?
Yeah, anti-music.
That was one of the most frenzied sessions I ever saw.
Really?
That was really, really frenzied.
Sterno
you had to have been there. It wasn't much fun to be an audience member.
Stop.
It wasn't much fun to go to a SubGenius show, said Ivan Stang.
A Morley pedal by swinging it around.
We can say that now.
Do you remember that?
Look, Jason and Lauren showing the movie to us.
No, it's loading. It's loading right now.
Well, it's the closest we've come to it yet.
Oh, thanks, Jason and Lauren.
We're just talking about how good Jason's internet is.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, maybe just like the picture. We
We're
try
just
to
trying
stay
to
away
figure
from
out
showing
what
or having the sound play just for legal reasons. We don't want to get
Oh,
shut down. But I mean,
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was me or not.
It's not just looking like. Sorry, that's a secret phrase there for listeners.
What do you see right now?
I'm on an escalator.
My future.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's just buzzing around my head.
Well, I hope they're watching the movie and us at the same time.
I've got 4 screens going.
Oh, well, that's great.
I've only got 3.
oh, that's great. We're synced up.
But Philo, you can't move the camera to show all 4 screens. Yeah, I'm behind you.
Not really.
He didn't see me, huh?
Show 2 of them over there.
Try
one of them
full
over there.
screen
One of them
there.
there.
So I might not
I
believe
generally
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
if
4
you
screens
stream
going.
the movie, it will crash your
Just for the heck
internet.
of it.
Ah, well.
Philo always has 5 screens running all the time.
That's right.
That's how
Yeah,
those
right.
aliens
I'm
learn
the
to
part
speak
with the
English.
saucers and the
I'm sort of a
animation
screen freak.
everybody else.
I love that last comment. If you sync Wizard of Oz, it actually syncs together with this movie.
Yeah, it does.
That is a known phenomenon called principal co-expressibility, where any soundtrack syncs to any film.
That's not true, though.
No, it's almost true.
No, there's no almost true. There's positive or negative. And some movies can't be synced to anything. And some music can't be synced to anything. But you're right. Most of the time it does work because our little brains will patch it in.
Yes, we fuse it inside.
That's a stoner trick.
They teach you
I had
about
to
that
turn
in
off a
film
few of those
school.
screens.
It
Hey,
is
it's a-
called principal co-expressibility.
Hey,
Have any of
Lauren,
you-
is any of this like up in smoke?
There's Carol Lay,
So why do you have to do
famous
that?
cartoonist
the
Carol
panel
Lay.
feels like
Carol Lay's a
not the
great
movie.
cartoon.
Yeah, some of these people got more famous than us later on.
She was in The Night of Slack also. She was in the monster costume, in the horrible blob.
Okay, I passed that area.
I love Carol Lay, the cartoonist. She did that comic book Good Girls.
Yes.
That's Oswald.
Yeah,
So good.
yeah.
Yeah. She's amazing. There's Oswald.
Oh, Onan's got it right.
He's showing the Australian version.
I should say, if you notice the cartoon animation and or the cutout animations, those are both made by we were very fortunate to have animators help us. Leah Shore made the hand-drawn ones of people getting, she's a talented animator from New York, and
Nice.
Lou Clark made the cutout animations. It's something he makes. He has a lot of movies like that, and when he's like, I never heard of the SubGenius, but I think they have my style. That's what he said.
I made some of the ones for Arise
Yes.
with pieces of cutout paper, clouds sliding apart to reveal the word SubGenius and other things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
You guys might be the
Fantastic.
same.
It's a natural progression when you're using clip art to make pictures with.
Right, it's part of the accumulative clip art method.
Right.
Some artists progress backwards from being tremendously talented to moving things on video to drawing it still to not drawing at all, except forwards.
And then they just have empty canvases.
Yeah,
a
all they
pipe
can do is draw flies.
Void.
Yeah.
It's
Draw
a picture
curtains.
of the void. I saw a guy just get kicked in the butt.
I think you and me must be pretty close sync as usual, Dr. Drummond. Oh, I just saw the guy get kicked in the butt just now. It's just we're a few seconds
But
off.
there's an important comment in there. It says, "Is this a cult?"
Right.
I think that's
Answer,
well done.
yes. Yes,
Of course
it's a
it's
cult.
a cult. Yes, it's a
Cult.
cult.
The worst conspiracy mongering cult of all.
Did you see that person
I
that
don't know about that.
commented the Baldy Bunch?
Yeah, the Baldy Bunch. That's pretty good.
Somebody commented the Baldy Bunch. What does that mean?
Means you have a hat on.
Jealousy.
Yeah, that's right.
It means you're a bald-faced truth teller.
Yes.
I guess that's kind of a giveaway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're describing Slack at where I'm at. Is that where you're
Slack.
Slack.
And that on every interview, people keep asking me, and everybody does a dance around what the definition of Slack is.
Hey,
If
Hal,
you
what,
gotta ask, you don't
Sandy,
get
I
it.
saw that like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'm way off.
In this interview, we are going to reveal the final and true
It's by
definition of
design.
Slack.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
This is a
Once and
historic
for all.
thing because people have been
And
constantly asking when they can see the movie, and now they can see it.
This is the movie right here.
People have asked.
Well,
we've
they want
always
their
avoided it, but
DVD.
now we're going to complain.
Real bad.
DVD.
Hey, Jason,
Hurry.
listen,
Hey,
Yeah, they
hey,
really want their
Ivan,
DVD.
Ivan, the DVDs have been ordered. They will be in my garage in about 2 weeks, and then we will begin to ship them out.
Wow. All right.
They're
I have a
Not-
film question.
not
All
Blu-ray,
right.
but actual DVDs.
actual
Excellent.
DVDs
but
in
they're not
full
through
low
the
resolution.
distributor. We've actually produced them ourselves. Well,
Excellent.
In full standard definition,
right.
with a picture
Did
on
you
the cover.
redesign the cover?
That too is Subgenius, to produce it ourselves and not rely on a larger organization, since they
Thanks
for
always
doing
have
that.
the default.
It looks like the poster, just to be clear.
And what a great poster that was by St. Paul Mavrides.
Will
Yeah.
there be DVDs in international formats or all the U.S. version?
Jason,
The master of the DVD was not really encoded with a country code, so hopefully it'll just kind of. But it won't be PAL; it will be NTSC, so it will play best on an American DVD.
Very good.
With
For a
subtitles
very
in
small
Tagalog and
fee,
Slovenian.
the faithful can send in and get a free player and television in exchange for money to the SubGenius Foundation.
amazing.
The DVD makes no promises. It is just
Yeah.
a project.
Yeah.
It is not
You
holy.
just have to spin it on your finger really fast and it works.
I
wonder
want
if
one.
Is it possible to pay
Yeah,
to
you
go
can
watch the
lick
movie
it up,
in
stick it on your
Jason's
forehead and go to
garage?
sleep.
You can come to my garage and I will give you a copy.
Look at this old footage. Philo is already wearing a face mask in 1981.
Yeah.
But he was being careful and caring about other people even then.
Very nice.
When
They
I
keep
think
them
about
I knew
here.
it
caring
was
for
gonna
other
happen.
people, I think of
You know,
Philo
trying to be
Drummond.
ahead of the curve on that.
Yeah, that's very polite of you.
Mhm.
That's what I think.
He's a
Forward-looking,
handsome, mature
far-seeing,
Oh, yeah.
prophetic.
I feel like we don't get enough reminders to wear
Wow.
masks. We don't get enough reminders to wear masks. I think that's sort of the problem. I wish people would remind us. Why don't we
I
get
wish
enough?
I had my mask on right now.
Wow.
I wish I was a little bit taller.
I wish you had just put that in the memo in the notes for the movie.
We need to keep
Please wear
faith
your mask.
for lip readers. I was just
You know they
reading-
have viruses on the internet too, right? I mean, who knows?
Yes, your computer can come down with them.
I'm sure you can
Look at Bob. It's half a Bob.
It's a
the
novel
DVD
virus.
on Amazon. Can you buy the DVD on Amazon?
No, you cannot.
Not yet. Oh, because it's a Kickstarter or something.
No. You can rent the movie or you can buy the
You
movie.
buy it as an Amazon download.
Download, right? An Amazon download.
You
The
buy it as an
DVD will
Amazon
be for Kickstarter supporters, and then a
Right.
number of them will end up with Ivan that that he can give to people who
Or
make
charge
donations
people
to the
more
church.
at his whatever he wants to do. Yeah.
Use them as
Download
coasters.
them.
They make great coasters.
Yes. Well, we still have a few toasters, don't we? Yeah. The bobhead toast comes out, and
It's miraculous.
yeah.
It's a fantasy come true.
And what about that cow with Bob on the side? That was an attested for miracle also.
Yes. The thing is that cow knew Bob a few months earlier.
In the carnal sense, you mean?
In the biblical way.
Yes, well, Bob gets around.
Oh, you can't rent or buy outside of the U.S. I guess we have some international viewers on the watch party. Well,
That's the value of being an American.
Jason, yes, but Jason, will you eventually be able to buy it international?
We hope so. That I think that would be great. It's all about the someone sending
all these other files.
Will it come out on Super 8? Oh, that's another legitimate question.
We could probably mail a DVD to another country.
Right.
Have an American DVD player. We'll mail them a DVD player. The DVD player is $35. The DVD is much more.
A Region O player will play American and Euro DVDs, but a Region 2 will not play on American equipment.
You can get a.
Can you put this on VHS? There's
That would be
no
great.
issue with region on VHS.
That's right.
Yes,
Go down one level to a more primitive level.
we could. I just
And
had to
then
buy a new charger for my VHS camera off eBay because it wasn't working anymore. But I've kept my VHS camera working. I will film it off the screen and send it to you.
That sounds like an eye-burning treat.
Like our own movie.
I see Slacker. Do you see Slacker?
Yes.
Oh, Richard Linklater. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's a vibrant shirt. That purple shirt.
Sandy
There
chose.
was-
That's where I am.
Just
Because
joining
of
in,
that.
we're about the 33-minute mark.
No, but that story, I mean, people are going, why is Rick in this film? And I'm going, well, he actually admitted to naming his movie. He was influenced by the SubGenius and Slack. And that's why he named his movie Slacker.
There's a couple of rants in there that basically were sort of written by me for completely different things that people kind of deliver slightly altered versions of. There's a Smurf. The rant about the Smurf was from an old humor article.
Some of the stuff that they're watching on TV in Slacker, did you not use some of that footage in Arise?
Not that I know of.
One of these
No.
versions
Yes,
look
he
very
did. We
familiar.
actually did it with permission.
Well, I mean,
Hey.
they look like they're using the same footage as we were, almost.
Well, we actually mostly finished Arise before 1990.
But didn't you pull a lot of archival, public domain, old stuff? I don't want to give away your secrets. Never mind.
Well, everybody was stealing from the same movies. There was a movie called Gizmo, a documentary that had a lot of old footage of people doing stunts. It Came from Hollywood was another movie that had pre-selected crappy monster scenes and things.
With Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, I was using Betamax copies of those.
Oh, wait.
Bumped up to 3/4 inch U-matic cassettes and edited from there.
It was Toronto, Canada did something. Did y'all see that? I didn't get to finish what they were asking for.
Can you run it back?
Toronto, Canada needs access to the slot now. I was here at the film festival last year.
Just a minute, I'll
We
grant
would-
them access.
If we could extend Slack to all the slackness sufferers on the world right now.
But so Jason, how do I? A lot of people are just asking how they can get it around the world. So
Oh, nobody's going to get it.
Or how do they get this chat, or how do they get the copy of the
the
film?
copy of the movie. Yeah.
How do they get the DVD?
That's a good question. The best way will be to
SubGenius.com.
go to subgenius.com and
How do I anything? SubGenius.com.
Yes.
And what
Yes,
will
that's
fix
the answer to
whatever?
And Genesis
1035
chapter 2. We don't have a good answer for international, but
Yeah.
stay tuned to SubGenius. We will tell you as soon as it is.
We're doing this.
And it's on Pirate Bay. Truthfully, we found multiple links.
Yeah, I was so disappointed.
For real?
They had already stolen it. Yeah, it's like,
I mean, that's what happens. It's an honor. It's a privilege to be pirated by you. We want people to get the word, the good news, no matter what. It's not about money only.
I would worry if they don't pirate it.
If they don't pirate your movie, you're not winning.
Well, I had a friend of mine who
tired of the winning by now.
A friend of mine, when he released his movie, he had the first few minutes of the movie and then it just went like to black, and he released a ton of different pirated versions, like full like 90 minutes. So people would download it, they'd watch the first few minutes and then they couldn't watch the movie. They got so frustrated, and he released like 100 different versions on Pirate Bay of a bad version of his own movie. Mess with the pirates. Anyways, just a tip for filmmakers who self-release their films.
Note that moron down there that's telling him how to get the movie.
Yeah, subgenius.com. That's where you go. That is all of your answers, not just about getting a DVD, all the answers of the universe.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's in the book.
And
On
what
page
did the internet
37.
look like in the 1990s? You can go to SubGenius's website.
Yeah.
Complete with IRC channel.
Well, it hasn't changed since then.
Says something about where you sell copies. I would want to pirate it. Okay.
Hey, by the way, I wanted to mention Shadow Stevens. Remember him?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he used to do commercials for Federated where he'd chainsaw a VCR in half. And I asked him once, where did you get that idea? And guess where he got the idea? It was a book of the
Where did you get the idea?
He called his character Fred Rated. Fred Rated.
And he did a lot of work with our friend Chuck Sereno. Because
yes.
Okay, I'm at Penn Jillette.
Yeah.
Penn Jillette testifying for Bob.
There he is. He's
All right.
With his hands, you know?
I'm looking for information about where we can see the movie because everything is in this book.
Yeah.
So you're looking in the wrong
It'll
book.
be in the predictions section, Dateline for Dominance. But the years are kind of off. Look under like 1996.
Do you have
it'll predict the movie for 1996. Yeah, we were kind of jumped the gun on some of those.
know the planets we're going to show.
Bob Apocrypha and the Bob
Dominance, 1982.
We actually, I went
Some of
through
the
our
information's
predictions
on
from
the
Book
edge
of the
of the page.
SubGenius recently, and they're frighteningly accurate now. Stuff that we thought was pretty unlikely, but Bob said it, so we wrote it. Well, it's all old news now.
It has sadly come to pass,
Yeah.
and it's still coming to pass.
Yeah.
It's called Bob's
Bob
Astrology.
said it. I believe it.
That settles it.
Too loud?
That's a rich comment there from Bad Rhymer.
Well, at least I got to see the movie in a theater on a screen, and that was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Dyeing their hair. What's he talking about?
I thought in the movie, it looks like Penn Jillette maybe dyed his hair, but whatever.
Well, the world ends tomorrow, and you may die.
That's show business.
Starting with your hair.
Yeah, the men from Planet X are rupturing us up to Planet X. It's just that they're doing it a little bit at a time. Tooth by tooth, hair by hair.
It hurts.
Or organ by organ.
It's not the
brain
the
cell
job
by
by
brain
job.
cell. Memory by memory. We're being lifted up onto the escape vessels. It's just
An
gradual.
optional evening, asking for a friend.
Oh, they're showing the assassination now in the movie?
I was going to say, part of
Young
our shot Bob was
sensitized
so
may
you
want
didn't
to
hear.
avert
Jonathan.
A
this
terrible
horrible image. Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
Oh. You know, there was a comment about what does Bob sound like, and part of why I shot the guy is you don't want to hear that.
It's had a horrible voice.
Well, horribly oleaginous. You want to listen to it.
Oleaginous, indeed.
It's oily. Yeah.
Sign here.
Uh-huh.
But also the deity has to die. That's just one of the religious rules. If for sales.
I'm
Yep.
at the start of the Night of Slack.
Worked well with us. Oh, well, then you're about to
Yeah,
see the assassination.
42 minutes. 42:26.
So,
And since that time, Bob has been ritually assassinated in many shows.
oh yeah. I question for you. You didn't get permission to shoot Bob, right? You didn't. None of these guys blessed this.
No. In fact, most people didn't know. There were only a handful of folks that knew that was going to happen. Which you can hear in the movie from the audience reaction. That just
Some of
there
them
were
were
couple,
dead.
yeah, that and Michael Pepe's speech on Friday night, where that was the most amazing rant I've ever heard.
Yes.
Still to this
It
day.
was wonderful.
Was it a
Just
real
see.
bottle that broke over your head? Like, did that hurt?
He's one of the best writers. in the,
There goes Bob.
Tales of Bob.
Bob just
Yeah,
got
that's
shot.
a breakaway bottle. Those are just movie tricks, folks.
So that they knew.
I just thought you guys might be crazy enough to do a real bottle.
A scene of chaos.
I used to carry one of those around in my car when I was in the Navy, and a very huge drunken Marine approached me to wipe the deck with me, and I was able to pull out that same kind of sugar water bottle and break it against my head and say, "Yeah, come on!" And the guy just stopped in his tracks, and looked at me like, "If you're that crazy, no." And then he backed off. And that was the end of the fight. That was the famous Bob Black that hit me in the head too.
That's right. Of the, what is it? The something international.
The last international.
Last international. Yes.
Oh God, damn! Talk about a casualty.
Yeah.
Yes. Not everybody made it out of this cult.
The second half of this conversation is going to be a lot sadder. The movie's going to take a dark turn here.
Uh-oh.
Well, it was rational and responsible to include those parts in the movie.
Bad rhymer, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yep.
get a photo up here.
You need to take a picture of that.
Okay, where are y'all at?
Everybody wave to Lauren. She wants to take your picture.
Wave at me.
I'm obscured by comments for the most part.
Probably one of the best moments for a while, you guys. Let's be real. Thanks.
The way they all became the SubGenius bunch.
That's the way.
Here's the story.
The story of an evil salesman.
Of an evil salesman.
Hey guys, one thing that I know that Hal, aren't you still doing a radio show, or anybody else doing radio shows right now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're all.
yeah.
It's still
Doug is doing it.
Plug it.
He's able to edit and put new material comprised of old material up on the air. My radio show is just reruns at this point.
Okay.
It's all the COVID. It's very hard to go forward, but Doug is actually doing it on KPFA.
Yeah, I'm still doing KPFA.
I'm alternating between reruns and new shows.
I heard that you put some stuff from my show on one of your recent tapes. At least a friend of mine said she heard that on one of your.
It was probably not from an Ask Dr. Howell. Well, oh yeah, actually I did. I used just this last week when we did Ask Dr. Howell on Zoom.
Yeah.
I had sent a question in, and I played your answer to my question on this week's Hour of Slack.
Great, anytime.
The Zoom audio is terrible.
I know.
I found that all that we recorded hours during X Day on Zoom, but I can't inflict that on a radio audience, and the stations don't like it either. It makes them look bad.
After our next show, we're moving to Twitch, which supposedly has better audio.
No, we're actually on Twitch right now.
Oh, we are? Well, this audio sounds fine.
Your show's going on Twitch.
This audio's okay with me. I don't hear anything the matter with it.
You didn't say we were going to be on Twitch. That's not fair. This isn't right.
You can't stop progress.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I wouldn't play this audio on my radio show. It's fun when you're looking at people but if you're not, it's just bad sound. You know, it's yeah.
Well, the Zoom sound is exceptionally bad because it prioritizes one vocal source and everything else it cuts out. And it's
It has to.
Scratchy.
It has to.
These
Maybe
guys
you want
don't
to
know a
consider a
miracle when they see
CB
it.
version of this documentary track, where it's a series of conversations over CB radio.
Well, the sound of the movie,
Oh, yeah.
when I was seeing it, is excellent.
People will probably want to see our face.
I should say that I was just looking it up. The sound designer of the film, the guy who added all the little like weird bells and whistles, is a gentleman here in Austin named Eric Friend, and he has been complaining about the sound on Zoom ever since we went into quarantine, and I've had to mix some movies with him over this summer, and he uses something called Session Link Pro. Which you might want to try out, Ivan, for good audio in a Zoom session. Session Link Pro. They aren't paying me, but that's what the sound designer of the SubGenius documentary recommends.
Oh, I've heard of that. People who do music rehearsals by Zoom use that to stay in sync.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's got a better. It prioritizes the audio in a way that Zoom doesn't.
Huh.
All of this,
Zoom
all of
is
our
going down right now. I said that.
and this is just the playback. Sometimes the playback doesn't work so well. It's not really predestination; it's pre-recorded before a potential studio audience.
Try playing trombone on Zoom. Thanks, William.
More sophisticated systems will follow. This is a primitive beginning of something.
Yes.
They were told this was coming.
Sorry about the Twitch thing. We just sort of signed up for Twitch recently, so apologies, Dobbs Merc.
It's all
Its
fine.
name didn't inspire me with confidence, but apparently that's
It's
the
working.
place. Yes.
Now here we see Bob nailed to a cross and set ablaze.
Oh, that's
and
always
yet
happening.
you can still send him money.
Crazy. How does that work? How does that work?
Well, we've all seen those monster
A dead
movies. You
guy
can't
getting
keep a
money.
good monster down. They always come back, no matter what you do with it. So you might as well give up, but rejoice and throw your money at the eternally dying and reviving God.
You know, I've gone the last time I looked at this movie, I found myself pausing it and freeze framing it to look at the details in the background in my friends' rooms. Like Dr. Howell's room, of course, is really fun to examine. And Sterno's house is in the background and some.
Who had the most unfolded laundry in a basket? I'm curious about that.
That is a sad detail, but I like Philo's term for the decorations in a SubGenius house. Everything is on a Slack altar. All those things that you collect and gather around you give you Slack, and they are on your Slack altar. That's how you can tell you're in a SubGenius home.
Well, some homes are nothing but Slack altar.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Dozens of them in one home.
Yes. On
Some
other
of them are very
ones,
thematic. You know, they'll
the
have
spouse banishes it all to one little room, you know. Make the SubGenius go in there so the neighbors are not offended.
I was lucky. I married a SubGenius.
That helps a whole lot.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have to say, in shooting a lot of these interviews, that most
sometimes
people
the spouse is
go
the
to their house and get my favorite things and
Advocate.
set up a collage so I could interview them in front of it. So, yeah, it worked out real well. I think it was Hal and Paul McGree's had the coolest stuff already ready to go. All the dinosaurs. Yeah.
Well, where do you put it?
Exactly. There's so much.
It must be out on display.
When I was driving across country to move to Oregon, I stayed at Philo's house at an undisclosed previous location. And he had a little Slack altar room that was different from much of the rest of the house. And we were hanging out, and he said, hey, Oned, do you want to see the first Bob, the first little clip art Bob? Well,
Oh
yeah,
my
man, I
God.
want to see that. So he kind of goes over to a shelf and moves some stuff around and looks in like a coffee can and opens a drawer and he says, man, I can't find it. I don't know where it is. And I was horrified for years. And then finally, Reverend Stang said, no, he's messing with you.
Actually, I have the original grandfather of all known Bobs that have been duplicated. And I can put my hand on it. Sandy actually filmed me finding it one time, as if I didn't know where it was. And but Philo has a version. He has a copy of the same clip art book, but it's a Bob that has never been copied. So he's got like the twin virgin Dobbs head, and I've got the used up old mattress back Dobbs head that every other Dobbs head is descended from.
Twin Virgins, new album out.
Everybody scanned it wrong. They've scanned that Dobbs head a million different ways, all kinds of wrong, it's lascivious, filthy ways. But not my virgin Dobbs head. Just pristine.
The distortion too.
Just a little bit. No, really.
Never been scanned.
Is everybody else there?
Oh my God, is that John Stewart?
Baby John Stewart, yeah.
Oh my God, it looks like a kid.
You can't.
Yeah, it was
because of Ivan's hair.
It was a while back.
I know, I looked like Yanni that year.
It's luscious.
That's a Yanni haircut.
Yeah, what was the permanent curls, Reverend Stein?
You know what it was? I was so nervous in that green room, I just brushed my hair nervously. That's where that came from. Tony Bennett was on before me, and then Tyra Banks. And they shot me in at the last 5 minutes. And during all that time, I was anxiously, just nervously brushing my hair. And I didn't expect that to happen. It was strange.
It does look beautiful.
Yeah,
it does.
beautiful.
Well groomed.
But
That's where I'm at. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's enough.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, that's where the hair is. All right.
Now I see Christ on the cross.
Yeah, me too. That was a little scary, actually.
Oh yeah, his line right here, if you listen, is one of the most subversive lines that I remember from the film. Let's find out if he's really Jewish. And make him Jewish.
There was real blood, actually. He did actually get cut slightly, a little bit.
That's a disturbing little thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we've specialized in that.
Yeah.
That was Dr. Legume was the one who staged a lot of those outrageous events at X Day. It was basically his idea, because I'm way more polite, but and maybe not as imaginative. There were 400 people at that X Day in 1998, and after the aliens didn't arrive, we had half as many customers from that point on, which to me was a frightening and disturbing statistic.
Yeah, I never heard that.
Shopping.
Yeah.
It would have been a great car.
There were people who were definitely really angry because they caught on that we had been lying the whole time. They just finally caught on. And yeah, there were some angry people that they were all strangers. Nobody we knew. I mean, we would deprogram them if we had to. We didn't really have to do that much. But we didn't know that there were so many who were they really did think they were going to get to have their own planet for $30. And they will someday. Only it's 35 now.
Yeah.
Oh, there's people who believe a lot of things out there, apparently.
Now, how did we get that X to appear in the sky on X Day?
I don't.
That was
Some
in your
things are beyond understanding.
That was
It's happened many times, not just once.
how, like, that's insane.
Sometimes when you look at
That's
this
so
footage
true.
of SubGenius events and they're scary or ugly or mean, you just need to remember that religion isn't necessarily to make you feel better. It's to make people you hate feel worse.
That is so accurate.
So true.
No, in our case, it was just to make us feel
So
better.
true.
It's really just to make us feel better. Worked for me. Actually,
This is one of my most emotional moments. So was when I spoke on stage after Stang went into the pond
In 1998.
in 1998.
Aaron, are you in the footage right now? What are you wearing?
He still has his clothes on. He's just about ready to go to the pond.
Yeah.
And there's the extra I've been talking about in the sky.
The angry mob.
And who got the 30 pieces of silver from that?
Yeah.
35 these days.
Huh.
Wow.
that was honey they were pouring on me, but Papa Joe Mama had the brilliant improvisational idea to yell out, motor oil. And at that point, everybody thought it was motor oil.
Oh, that was honey. Okay.
I paid for those pink feathers, by the way. That part was planned.
In many ways.
But being thrown in the pond was not planned. I'm really proud, though. I remembered all my lines I'd come up with for 20 years just for that event. I managed to get all of them screened out on somebody's video camera or another.
We found it stripping you and throwing you in the cold water.
I feel like we found this drunk Jesus stuff later, right, Jason? It was like, well, I was looking, for a long time through everything, over and over and over and over and over, and then I found this trunk stuff, and I just loved it. We just were like, this is
the end.
This has to be the end of the series.
Nice.
Trunk, putting Jesus in the trunk.
Not because we should do that. It's because it was so explanatory of what you guys were doing at the time, and that's what you're trying to show. I think.
Yeah. Don't think.
The animation was great.
Yeah.
There was Dr. Lagoon for a moment.
Yeah. And the blood wrestling.
Oh, yes.
So what about the guy wrapped in the flag in the trunk? Was that just set up, or that's really where he slept that night?
I mean, I need to know more too. All I saw was all the clips that are there. Believe me, I used them every frame.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that. Let's show you.
Who was wrapped in a flag and thrown in a trunk?
Yeah, there's somebody. Hold on, just it was after.
There might not have been enough seats in the car. I know from experience when.
Okay, yeah, that was Jesus after. After he was crucified. His buddy Ed Strange, or Legume and Ed Strange, wrapped him in an American flag and tossed him in the trunk so they could drive him away and let him get cleaned up. He was supposed to be dead.
Okay.
There was paparazzi around, we're trying to keep him.
All of this is for your safety and comfort. Everything we've ever done.
Everything.
To
Out
make
of
you
our
just kind of
selfless-
calm down,
Our
not worry as
bottom
much.
charity.
Yeah, it's to keep it from happening to you, friends.
Yes.
Actually, the 80s were fun, and ever since 2001, it's been fun. But the 90s were not fun for me. They were not fun at all. It was really stressful, and too much is not always better than not enough.
I'm afraid that's true. Some SubGenius slogans aren't to be interpreted.
Actually, the original line, Bob's original line was, too much is always better than not enough, but it's almost as bad. but that, that just kills it. Then it becomes reasonable. Nobody wants reasonable in their religion, So we had to drop the secondary kind of conditions from several of Bob's original sayings. Pull the wool over your own eyes.
Yeah.
You're still blind, but at least it's your wool. But you're still blind.
Well, you were wise to let that one go. What we learned from that is always have a pithy quote that's not too long, or else it will be edited by time.
Spend $1.
That's pith. There's pith in that one.
Yes.
Pith and vinegar.
Pith and vinegar.
Send $1. People think that's a joke, though. That's like saying send 1 penny. In our day, there's like nobody actually sends $1. By the way, that I used to pay for my kids' lunches in the '80s off of the dollars that we would get. But at a certain point, people went, "Well, that's got to be a joke. Nothing is $1. You can't buy a piece of gum for $1."
So did they send more?
Oh yeah, they sent $35, $1,000, all kinds of stuff.
Was $900.
That is an important thing because they have to
We
put
were
their
looking
money
for
where
$900,
their
remember?
belief is. They're not
God
just
forbid the religion.
right. They sponsor what they do with the actual.
Well, our baseline was $900. That's our target.
It took us 3 years to make that much, but it picked up after that.
We were trying to equal Jim Jones, only on a more positive note.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a true fact. During the last 2 years, we've sold about 1,000 memberships a year. I've had it's easy for me to keep track of, and
compared to how many before,
Yeah.
Well, there were in around 2006 when that child custody case was going on. That was real good business for us. But there have been times in between when it was more like maybe 1 membership a day, and it wasn't really paying for itself. In fact, that was one of the problems with the 90s. It wasn't paying for itself. I was having to work 5 different jobs, kind of, to keep everything going. It wasn't paying off, but everything's calmed down quite a bit. We've been doing great lately. Partly because of the movie. I've got to admit, we haven't had a giant flood of orders because of the movie coming out, but it's been nice and steady and lots of new folks, and I expect that'll continue. I had to order twice as much of everything this month.
Oh.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So remember, folks, we have your Dobbs head face mask and fertility mask.
Usually we don't really know if Bob is literate, if he can read and write, but he can speak, and so we get these memos and recordings of stuff. And it could be that when he said too much is always better than not enough, he meant too much. How much are you going to make when you join this cult or start this cult? $2.
$2.
$2.
$2.
It's all gone.
So it's really our fault, I guess.
All good.
Yeah.
Great. I'm just saying we did it.
Well, you did tell them to quit their jobs. And
I know. Everything we did was back ass words. Like, oh, this is an anti-business business. This is an anti-art project.
Back in those days.
Smooth move.
Don't forget, back in those days, they had a concept called irony. People understood it back then. It's a lost concept now.
No, it's not.
Well, it's more like we're swimming in it. We're swimming in irony, so you don't feel it or see it anymore.
That's hard on certain art movements like
Only those of us that know it perceive it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's heavy, Dr. Drummond. Did Bob say that?
In a way, we have destroyed normalcy, so there's nothing to kick against. It makes our task harder.
Maybe
The
we got
elder gods feed on our suffering and they season it with irony. So they'll never let it entirely go away.
Relish.
The food's kind of bland lately.
So when David Letterman, is it true that he truly had a Bob backstage?
Well, there's a if you look real closely,
on
for
stage.
several years there was a Dobbs head in the back on his backdrop. It was kind of subtle.
A collage of things.
Yeah, right. We
like half of his face.
Our friend Reverend Bleepo Abernathy was working in New York at that time and knew the Letterman producer who wouldn't allow us to ever be on that show.
Oh.
Apparently that was a policy.
Okay.
Letterman thought it was pretty funny, but somebody said, don't ever, it's a one joke idea. They'll never be on this show. And they were right. We never were on that show.
Wow.
Just, you know.
And it's a four-joke idea.
Everything worked out for the best. Everything worked out just the way it should.
Everything worked out the best for Bob.
I was never able to afford to get hooked on cocaine.
And that show is done now, and the SubGenius continue. Bob.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Onan pointed out the other day the Puzzling Evidence show and Hour of Slack have been on many more decades than, say, the David Letterman show lasted, or even Johnny Carson's show.
Or the
we weren't on every night, so we didn't do as many episodes. But in terms of years, I mean, 40 years. In Doug's case, and over 35 years in my case.
Once a week.
That's a lot of weekly shows.
Oh, their minds are gone.
Got to do another one this week.
Hey, there's a Dobbs on what's his name's backdrop too. God, I can't think of his name. Sorry.
Pee-wee.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
I think
was
Gary
asleep.
Panter, something to do with
Probably Gary Panter put that on the set. Gary Panter was the co-author of P-Dog Comics with Jay Condom. And unlike Jay, Gary became a really big name artist, and he did the set design and character design for Pee-wee. And I think that's probably where that Dobbs head came in. Pee-wee did order a membership, but he never paid for it. But that's okay, because he exposed the one episode of Pee-wee's Playhouse. The word of the day was okay. And he held this, he stands there with the Dobbs head right over his shoulder going, okay. The word of the day is okay. And you can see the bob head the whole time. And it's like, that's worth a lot more than $30 in injected imagery in the heads of 4-year-olds. I got $35 out of every one of those 4-year-olds 20 years later.
You know, Doug, one of the questions I've been getting on several of the interviews is what happens next? Because they're saying, you know, this is set for a sequel, but then they're saying, and what happens to the SubGenius after you pass on? Who was this mantle going to be handed down to?
I don't know. You have to ask Bob. I can't make. I quit making predictions in 1998.
Okay.
Bob's going to have to pick new sacred scribe at some point.
That's right.
There is a long-term plan, however, a plan for all the SubGenius books that have come out and are yet to come out, and that plan is being followed.
I am actually trying to make time to put together a whole bunch of reprints of old stuff on paper and reprints of old stuff that no one's ever seen outside of a small circle of people. And of course, we have a lot of new stuff. but I'm having more and more trouble making time to actually do each of these 100 projects. So what I'm trying to do now is get them ready for the next person to do, if necessary.
Well, put the word out, and maybe SubGenius Gremlins will enthusiastically do this.
No, that's not what we want. I'm just trying to make sure everything is labeled well. Basically, it's all labeled, but only I can read the labels. You see,
we should try.
And it's all in one place. Everything's all out in the teepee out there in the yard. Every bit of
Bob's favorite comics.
God, it's not raining now. I said I need to cover it, throw a tarp over that.
What's going on in the movie?
So on these new members, these thousands that you're getting, it's trickling in on a regular basis. So, I mean, do we have an age range? Or young people becoming more involved? Anybody 30 or under, or 30 or 40?
Oh, it's still the same cross section of weirdos. You never know. Old folks, young folks, all kinds.
The median age is...
So Trump just appeared in the movie. We must be getting close to the end.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I was waiting for somebody to
non-joiner, all age.
And
Sandy, are you at?
Still appeals to that person.
I'm here where Trump's, doing the cat part, and then the Trump part came on.
I think, Sandy, what you were getting at with that question about what kind of people are signing up is you want 10%, right?
Yeah, exactly. It'd be nice if we at least break even on this movie now that it's already pirated and no money's come in yet. So yes.
1,000 members this last year. That's $3,500. I think that's right. $350 back to you, Sandy.
That's right.
Well learned. How the money rolls.
You can't put a price on the wisdom in that movie. It's priceless. It's beyond any kind of price.
This scene took us longer than the whole rest of the movie.
No.
Okay.
It was just the last one to be done because it needed to be current.
Yeah, but also it was there's a lot of shots. I intricately messed with it for a long time, and
it was cut at least 4 times, I believe.
4? There was a version 100, I think.
I mean, like full redo, full revisions, four revisions.
Fair enough.
Well, we saw the rough cut. Philo and I got to see the rough cut before, just to safety, see if there was anything that was really egregiously wrong. And it definitely improved a lot between then and when we started seeing it at film festivals. Seemed like it was much more polished on a really almost subliminal level. All those little sound effects and things have been worked in. It's just been tightened up somehow.
She worked her ass off.
It's a long process. Figure out the order and then polish it.
It's the third version I've seen.
What?
And as far as what the future holds for the Church of the SubGenius,
third version I've seen.
X Days come and gone. There's some books that have come and now they're out of print. Well, what's left for the Church of the SubGenius? But the opportunity to send $1 to J.R. Bob Dobbs has not ended.
No, that's easy to do.
That opportunity
easier than ever.
Highly recommended.
Just add 2 zeros to everything.
Yes.
And hit PayPal button.
But in all actuality, I mean, there were so many stories after becoming a part of this group where certain SubGenius were in trouble medically. They had issues, or their cars broke down, and people would send money. It was so impressive to see how it truly operated like a friends group or a church. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they do help each other out. We do help each other out. Every now and then a GoFundMe appears and the person gets the car they need or the doctor bill paid that they need. I was able to raise money for a lawyer for something thanks to the SubGenius community. But it's mostly people who know each other. you know, it's mostly not strangers exactly. Well, a lot of us have actually met over the years, partly because of X Day, and we used to travel more.
Okay.
Predating the internet.
And now we have regular Zoom meetings all the time.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Oh, they're showing my house. There's my house.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm a little worried about, it's like, what happens if the townsfolk around here suddenly all go, well, there's this movie it's filmed in Glenrose, but it's satanic baby killers.
Somebody named Satang.
Yeah. I've been going out of my way just to be that nice old guy with the hat.
Covering
That's old Heath Smith's son. He came back from Ohio after a long time. He's not so bad. You say he's a devil worshiper? Huh.
Were you the only one voting in the liberal section of the town? Everybody in the conservative town.
Actually people in this county were horrified to learn that there were actual Democrats living among them. This is a really small town. It was very, very conservative. It's the friendliest place in the whole world. Just about anybody here help you change a flat tire, no matter who you are, total stranger. On the other hand, if you're wearing a hope and change button, they might later come and poison your dog, but we've never had any trouble. Also, I don't think it's on the radar of much of it.
Now I'm at the part of the movie where we're at that awesome after
the big party.
So great that night. Yeah.
Well, it was so serendipitous that those two young guys walked up and said, how come at this party full of movie stars, the camera's following you two guys around? And that was the perfect setup. Philo and I are experts at taking something like that and running with it. We knew we were mic'd too. So it was like a radio show. You know, it was like, let's start acting. Notice I walked us over to where the light was. I kind of edged us under one of the lights because I was thinking about the cameras, you know.
Thank you.
But yeah, these two guys walked up. Why are they filming you guys? And we were like, oh, ignore those guys. They're crazy. They're nuts. I don't know we don't know who they are. And yeah, we just kept doing the put on. And then finally we got honest with them. And by the end of it, they were going, praise Bob, we're going to join up. They never did, but they probably didn't remember anything after that.
And now they're both in the hospital.
Yeah.
It looked good to have pamphlets in our pocket.
Glad you did. It worked out.
I had the little Dobbs head stickers and pamphlets. I was thinking ahead, you know. I'm just amazed that the cameras get such good pictures in such low light. That was really quite dark there.
David Layton shot that. He's very talented cameraman.
Oh yeah, no, the whole crew, everybody in the crew. I used to work in film stuff. That was everybody in the crew was super tight. I mean, really, really professional and friendly. And I'll refrain from my comments that might be regarded as sexist. They're complimentary, but they get received the wrong way because I'm old.
One strange fact for you is that I believe the last day of editing, on the very last day of Lauren's edit, we switched that scene that is the ending with the first scene.
That's right.
We had it ending with X Day, and it was beginning with the party. And that was switched on the very last, that was the last change.
Right.
Well,
you know,
as I understand it, you guys sort of had the idea of making it into kind of a buddy movie, even though there wasn't that much footage of Philo and me together in the early days. So we were taking pictures of each other, you know, and I think that, of course, you know, for my ego and Philo, yeah, that's a good idea. That makes sense. But you have to have some person that the audience can identify with, and why not Philo and me? You know, I think that was okay.
I mean, how long is this friendship? 40 years?
Yeah. Yeah, and we had been apart for a long time. And so there'd been a long time when
true, but I see you very young together. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you knew us then.
Right, I did.
40 years flies by in an instant.
I don't know. I think it's taking a toll a little bit.
It went by too fast, put it that way.
Yeah, we could have slowed down.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at the reviews.
The reviews. Are there extras on the disc?
I'm at the credits.
Including things like reviews?
Commentary.
Features?
My screen says that this is the best movie they've ever seen.
You guys, I think we just recorded the commentary for the DVD, you know.
Movies are your best entertainment value.
This is the DVD commentary.
We'll offer it as a free download if we can get a copy, in addition to the DVD that you can listen along. Is this recorded, Chris? It is, right? Oh, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Muted. Talk.
You're muted. Chris,
you're muted.
Chris, keep yourself muted.
Yeah, I can send you a copy of the video and audio if you want me to.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's a good DVD extra, as Ivan says. But the DVDs are already ordered, so we just have to make it available as a download.
Will you blur me out?
Or make it a download for everybody. Or you can refer them to our the YouTube,
forever,
because it's saved on YouTube.
Yeah, that's
Forever. For
first go to
YouTube lets us have
subgenius.com
it.
and next go to YouTube.
SubGenius.com.
The answer to
There you go.
everything.
All right. Thank you.
So, Onan, are you in charge of the finances of the church?
Not yet, but
Can we get one more?
eye on it.
Get one more plug for ordering.
Not yet.
How do you feel now? The braces. I mean, you look a lot different. You look distinguished.
Who are you?
I'm talking to Onan.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
Yep, I happened to have the good fortune to find the Church of the Subgenius in 1982 at the age of 16, and signed my brain and willpower over to J.R. Bob Dobbs, and here I am today, doing the same.
You see
The
people.
editor of the Dobbs
And if you roll this recording back, because it's going to be on YouTube and the DVD and all the rest, roll this back and review when we explained for the final time Slack. If you didn't catch it the first time, it was
that was the best explanation I've ever seen us give.
It was amazing. Thank you to everyone who was a part of that.
Yeah.
I've never seen one like that.
Yeah.
It was really good. Really, really good.
Yeah. So we kind of spilled the beans,
Fine.
Yeah.
but
Fine.
at this point,
Find
beans
it.
are for spilling.
Has beans.
Yeah.
What are we supposed
We
to?
are the human. It's
Yeah.
good to be a human being.
Do we answer questions now, Chris, or
Mr.
what?
Jew is off the road now.
Yes. Now that everyone has seen the film, or seen the film maybe and paid more attention perhaps to the audio commentary, what questions do people have? We are here for you. I will post only the best questions.
Now that
all
you've
the
seen
questions.
the film,
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's the voice
Go
Open
ahead.
your copybooks and turn to page
Yes.
9. Well, I can say, Chris, thanks for doing this. Good
Yes.
fun.
definitely.
And I haven't seen you since about 1989 when you showed the Go-Go's party tape in North Carolina.
Oh my God, I remember that. That was one of in a small selection of tapes I called room clearers. So yeah,
That
and
is,
shocking. Oh my God, I totally remember that. Yeah, that was awesome.
that was
Cool.
great. That's where you and I met. And then a little while after that, I did write a very brief piece for the magazine. And here we are again. So
Oh my
Subgenius
God.
brings people together.
Oh, that's so cool. All right, well, email me after this. I'm always looking for writers. If you don't have it, if you're bored, you want to watch some cool indie movies. I feel like I have the best
Absolutely.
job ever. I get to see films like this and talk to everyone on these watch parties every week. So
Yeah.
that's so cool. Wow. Yeah. Oh man, those were the days back in the
Those
wow.
are the days of having,
Excellent.
you've got some crazy videotape that you made or some weirdo friend gave you, and you sent it through the mail, and it took weeks to get there, and then they get it and play it in real time. No, not real fast forward or skipping to that. And then you make a copy that's just a little bit worse than the other copy was.
Yes.
A little bit worse.
Yeah.
But then that becomes part of how it looks. And
Yeah.
it doesn't
That was
make
the
it
good
worse.
old days.
And audio
Better.
letters, cassettes going through the mail.
Audio letters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
did. You know what? I interviewed Alan Moore and Charles Bukowski through the mail. I sent like typed pages where I'd put like 2 questions on a page and leave all this blank space for them to like, yeah. And I have somewhere in the Film Threat files is the Charles Bukowski stuff. And Alan Moore asked me for a subscription to Film Threat, but it was so weird. Like thinking back, like how we did things now, stuff is so easy. In 2 clicks, you can find something on Pirate Bay, or, you know, what we used to do is, you know, I remember no one knows what an SASE is now. I know what it is. It's a self-addressed stamped envelope. So we know how that works. So yeah, that's so cool. Oh, wow. He disappeared. We were having
Crazy.
Okay.
Who disappeared?
Here we go.
Canon.
Here, there's so many questions. I can't keep up.
Just select some.
But maybe any final thoughts on the Onan's back. Here you are.
There you go.
Hey.
The one question is preferred, I think, right?
What's that?
Yeah,
So, we
and
don't questions.
no questions about Michael Pepe.
Okay.
Someone must select questions and present them to us, since we can't do it, and then we'll answer.
Will there be a 3.5-hour director's cut of this movie with all the footage that couldn't be included, or deleted scenes on a DVD, perhaps?
The embarrassing SubGenius blooper reel.
Actually, I'm ready to put together a sort of addendum with interviews that I shot that weren't able to be used in the movie, and other, you know, I actually have 60 hours of everything ever filmed on SubGenius on one giant Final Cut Pro file. So all I have to do is edit out everything that doesn't look like a 3.5-hour addendum. But I interviewed Lonesome Cowboy Dave and G. Gordon Gordon and Gary Gabrogfran and a couple other folks. And, of course, Sandy interviewed twice as many people who end up being in the movie. You know, you just can't use everything. You can't use a fraction of it.
That's true.
That's where Lauren and Jason and Sandy had to pick which fractions. That's a lot of decisions.
Well, it wasn't too hard when someone was so stoned they were drooling, and I went, "I'm sorry, I'm just going to use this footage."
Well, that's okay on my YouTube channel. That'll be fine. I'm just talking about my YouTube channel. You know, that's all.
I'm going, no shit. I can't believe you guys put it like that. This is horrible.
But by the way, my YouTube
on Twitch,
my YouTube channel, which is Rev Stang. There's a link to it on subgenius.com right up front. I put it in playlist form so that there's like archaic SubGenius footage. There's complete hour-long old devivals, a lot of X-Day stuff, and a lot of funny trivia, home movies and things that Philo and I did. And, of course, also a different section about my cats and another section about bugs. But
hey, Stang, that's really interesting.
You know, there's a lot of there's a lot of and puzzling evidence. Puzzling evidence has.
Oh wait,
acres.
he just got interesting.
Shut up.
An enormous archive.
Yeah, gigantic archives. Quiveringbrain.com. Philo's site has tons of music and all kinds of other recordings. Very, very strange things.
well, whatever you can post, just call it the official DVD extras and put it on YouTube. And
Yeah, probably the best way would
It's
just
fine.
be to buy the movie, and then also anytime you need to know, go to the website and we'll link you to all of the
a lot of
this
the
kind of stuff.
yeah, and a lot of the extras are on YouTube already. The Arise,
Yeah.
like that. A lot
Actually,
of
it
the movies
comes up
from
before
it's
the
all
film.
from the stuff that's already out.
Right.
Yeah, the
Well, and,
church was just an extra to this point.
Yeah.
Philo's Roku channel has basically free versions of all the DVDs that we sell. It has the raw versions
It's
of a
on
lot of stuff that
OSI
was used.
74.
Yeah, on Roku,
You have to
OSI
search for OSI
74.
74.
It's a good one.
Someone's
Or
got a
SubGenius channel.
Or Vimeo.com/Philo Drummond.
Ooh, Vimeo.
Everybody
Vimeo.
say website.
Oh, I love it. I'm totally pronouncing it Vimeo from now on.
I have no idea how anything is pronounced because I'm deaf.
You used to call it Vimeo, or was that?
Vimeo?
Is that what it is? I'm
It's-
not surprised.
It's Vimeo.
It should
Ooh.
It's Vimeo.
No, I'm
Really?
saying
Whoa.
Vimeo from now on. I think that's Vimeo is. There's no. What is the correct pronunciation of Vimeo?
Good.
That's just it.
from video.
Well, and it's like the argument over GIF and GIF.
Short-
Right.
GIF and GIF, you know.
Sandy, what are you working on next?
I completed a script called The Independent Life, and it was basically my late husband really did leave a script, and his dying wish was that I'd make his film. But it was written in 2000, 2001, and it's so dated. I completely edited and redid it and tried to get it out there, and they weren't accepting it. So I thought, well, so I did my story of a woman that's lost her husband, and she's trying to do his film. So I was able to connect the two films together. And so it's
Fantastic.
humorous, and it hits all the elements of personal relationship, but then it also has the shoot 'em up violent stuff that his script had in it. And I think I pull it off. And there's lots of wonderful characters. And actually, it's a little bit about my real life, and the SubGenius are actually in the film and the new script. So
Nice.
it's tying in a lot of the stuff that I did before. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Looking
and we're
forward
just
to
getting
it.
out there, hoping we get to move forward with it. Yeah.
Can't wait to watch that.
That's
What?
awesome.
That would be fun to watch. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah. It's doing a lot of drama, and plus it's
Oh my God.
And see, Dr. Drummond is back to watching wrestling.
Is that what's going on?
He was probably watching wrestling this whole time and just say, "Oh yeah, that's it's a nature Reverend Nature Boy, Reverend Hulk, Reverend Triple H, and Reverend." Wait, those aren't. Well, maybe some of those wrestlers are subgeniuses.
You never know.
I know less every day.
Sense actually.
The WWF and SubGenius are somehow aligned in the background, is what you're saying?
Certain.
Well, that bigger than life heroes and villains, and you've got a funny name, and you wear clothes, and you have this amazing confrontation in the ring in front of thousands, and then you're just a guy that has a job and goes to the grocery store the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Is that the description of a wrestler's life or a subgenius
Eats a
creature's
Denny.
life? Yeah. Or someone like Dr. Drummond and El Santo, mask wearing as a profession.
Well, everybody wears a mask now.
Yeah.
Little
But
known
we're all
fact,
wrestlers now. COVID has made wrestlers
little
of
known
us all.
little known SubGenius and wrestling crossover fact. For 2 years, SubGenius Foundation did mail order for the Von Erich family. It was Kevin Von Erich was the only survivor of the Von Erichs at that point.
They had like 4 wrestlers in that family, right?
Oh yeah, plus their dad,
Yeah.
Fritz Von Erich. That was we couldn't continue to do mail order for them because it was too frustrating dealing with the customers. it was very difficult dealing with
Fritz
the
von
customers.
Erich had 5 sons and 4 of them died.
Yeah.
3 of them committed suicide.
Yeah. It's a horrible, nightmarish situation.
Tragic, super tragic.
The question is, did the government ever go after the church?
No, not really.
Not yet.
Well, all governments oppose the Church of the Subgenius, including our members at the highest ranks in every government in the world. They oppose the Church of the Subgenius.
We've mailed a membership pack to every U.S. president or serious contender. It wasn't me doing it. It was actually a guy in Australia. Reverend Chainsmoker would order memberships for, Sarah Palin got one.
And much good may it have done it.
Oh my gosh. I wouldn't give to see.
Did anyone respond?
No one ever has responded.
But you look at their destinies after the reception of that membership, and I think it tells the tale.
Clearly.
You can tell that they read it.
I mean, I'm glad
it had an impact.
Who read it and who didn't.
If this movie had come out 1 month later, we
sometimes you didn't even have to read it. You just had to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't even have to receive SubGenius literature. You just have to send $1.
Well, actually, all you really have to do is take a good look at Bob's face.
Exactly.
Just that face is all you really need. Either you're going to get it or you're not going to get it, just from that image alone. It's a face-based religion. There, but for the face of Bob go I. You know?
And I've been told by parents that it's very useful with the toilet training. All you need to do is show your child the face of Bob, and the toilet training is taken care of. Parents say to me, I'm no parent, but they've told me that.
Apparently.
Says you want to talk SubGenius superheroes. Remember Pope Chris?
Chris.
I don't know. Tell me about him.
He
was a hand-drawn comic artist. I had a few of his pieces. I don't think that they were sequential. They didn't tell longer stories. Each issue was self-contained, but fantastic work from Pope Cripps of the Church of the Subgenius.
I still hear from him on Facebook. He's still drawing ugly pictures, and
There was a SubGenius comic book called Bob's Favorite Comics. Most of them were stored next to an illegal Chinese fireworks factory, which exploded and destroyed most of the run. There still are a few of them, but that waits for someone to reprint it who is interested.
Well, that just shows the lengths that the conspiracy will go to
Don't
censor
underestimate
the Church of the Subgenius.
Yep.
Going all the way back to ancient China and inventing fireworks so that someday that comic book could be destroyed.
It's a very expensive comic book if you look online, because there are so few copies left. And it wasn't a large print run anyway. But there's lots of SubGenius material that at the moment has not come to light and may in time come to light.
Yeah, there's at least another comic book's worth of stuff that I could reprint if I can get permission from the artists. In this case, a lot of it is Nenslow and Mavrides, who are both very, very, very picky as to how their work is used.
Yeah.
Nenslow denied having anything to do with the church, even though he's in print in Robert Crumb's Weirdo magazine, presenting a SubGenius article.
Oh, you don't take Nenslow's just funning with you, Hal.
Yeah, I know that. And the recent book of Weirdo that came out about R. Crumb's Weirdo magazine mentions the SubGenius portion of Weirdo.
Good old R. Crumb. I don't know where I'd be without his influence. Probably not in nearly as much trouble.
The question just went by about was there anyone from Saturday Night Live ever in the church?
That's from VJ Pussycat. No, what does that mean anyway, VJ Pussycat?
Yeah, actually, there's a mystery about that. at the Chicago convention in 1982, there was this band that covered Beatles songs. I didn't stick around for that, but I was told that those people were going to be on the next, they were going to be in the next Saturday Night Live cast. They were Second City, there's some Second City people who had just shown up at the last minute and went, oh, we can play our Beatles music at your screwball convention. We'll do it. And then somebody told me that they were going to be at the next Saturday Night Live cast. And I have no idea which ones it was. I have no idea.
I introduced the church to Kevin Nealon on the Conspiracy Zone show on the old TNN network.
Right, but at the time, no, there was a writer for Saturday Night Live that showed up for some reason at our first convention, and we even gave her a special screening of my movie World of the Future. But it was the end of the convention, and we were all so exhausted, possibly high or drunk. Awesome. And she kind of nodded her head a lot, and we never heard from her again. But she supposedly was a writer from there. But there have been a lot of real close calls with serious fame. David Meyer and I were interviewed by Kurt Loder for Rolling Stone. And that would have been, an article in Rolling Stone at that time, in the 80s, would have been a big deal for us. But the Eurythmics hit the scene that month, and they didn't have room for SubGenius because they covered the new hit band, the Eurythmics. And
the movie True Stories also.
Oddly enough, that same guy, Kurt Loder, just did a really nice review of your film, Sandy.
Oh.
Yeah, one of the big reviewers was that same guy from way back when.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. He was on MTV doing MTV News for a while, and he talked about our books whenever we had a new one out. He was nice to us. Kurt Loder, yeah.
Can I throw you another question? Did you notice a couple of weeks back when there was a New York Times crossword clue about the subject?
Yeah, I saw that.
What?
Let's see who knows this. What the clue was? What members of the Church of the SubGenius parody religion claim to be descended from?
Right.
YETI.
Yeah. Yeah, I got several emails from people going, "Wow, does this mean you're famous now?"
Yeah. What's the answer? I didn't look.
Yetis.
Yetis. Okay, very good.
It was Yetis. YETIS.
I don't know why I didn't learn that. We watched all the tapes. I don't know why it wasn't in there.
Something always gets by.
Yeah. So
always escapes.
My ancestors were Yetis, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
The Yeti is our president.
Yeti's our president.
I thought that's where we were headed.
Proto-humans.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Okay.
We're all Devo. Now it can be told.
Well, that was the last clue on that crossword. I got all the rest.
Couldn't you figure it out from the other direction?
That's clever. That would be clever.
You mean looking at the answers first and then putting them
Well, you can always do that if they provide the answers, but then in a crossword, you can go across the word and piece it together.
J.R. Bob Dobbs is often used in crossword puzzles. The name J.R. Bob Dobbs, because it's a perfect anagram. You can spell it forwards or backwards, and it's the same.
No, it's not.
J.R. Bob Dobbs, and it's the same.
Okay.
One of the questions was, has there ever been any type of offer or interest in making superheroes of some of the SubGenius, the odder characters?
A little Janer doll and a little.
I know.
That would really crush us to earth if that were to happen.
Overman. I think the Overman has good potential for that.
Yeah. And a little Dr. Howell.
Yeah.
SubGenius did appear in an issue of X-Men, so we're on our way.
Oh, okay.
Has anyone ever made a bobblehead of Bob?
That's right.
A bobblehead, eh?
No, we get asked about that all the time, though.
Okay, because that seems like it would sell.
Yeah,
Easy enough.
it seems like it would. Yes.
Go ahead
The
and
little-
just buy it.
The
I
little
promise.
pipe, yeah, the little
We
pipe.
we
that's
just
breaking off in the box.
somebody else to put the money up.
The church sells cufflinks and Dobbs pins that fit on your coat,
Yep.
where politicians have a little American flag.
And they will cuff you as well.
Mm-hmm.
What is that next to you, Philo?
I
Is it-
suspect that's Chaosmic Bobcat.
Oh.
Hearing
Little
out of the-
bobcat mask. Is it your daughter?
No, that's my wife.
Okay.
This is better than
Yeah.
Cats.
Yes.
I've seen it over
Well, that
and
wouldn't be hard
over
to
and
do.
over again.
We lost Lauren.
She's over there trying to pee in my yard.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Are the questions continuing to pour in?
I succeeded. No,
All right.
Comments, a lot of comments.
Anything.
They
Yeah,
started
we're-
an
we're-
hour
we're-
ago.
To pee is
Zoom right now.
anti-black.
This is just a twitchy version of Zoom.
coronavirus protocol for me to do that.
That's right.
Is there anyone left out there in the world? It's just us.
Yeah, that was a good answer.
No, there's people watching. I feel like we should have like final thoughts from everybody involved, like your final thoughts, and sort of wrap it up, bring it home, so to speak.
Keep watching the skies.
I think those guys.
Thank you, Sandy.
Oh, you're
Yes.
Yeah,
Thanks very much.
thank you, Sandy
Thank
and
you,
Lauren, for
And
everybody
Film
being
Threat,
involved.
too.
Thank you, Sandy.
Yeah.
Film
And
Threat.
Film
Thank you guys so much.
So thanks everybody that helped make the
Oh, it,
because
Oh, I thought it was just me
otherwise
hearing
would not
you.
have been made.
Yeah, that was fun. The movie, I mean.
The movie was fun.
Not the commentary. No.
it was a great
No.
experience to
Yeah,
watch
not-
it in the theater.
This
on a
part's been
screen.
horrible.
It was a
yeah.
fabulous experience.
Oh, we're almost done with this experience.
It is better.
It's better than
on the
Cats.
screen.
I watched it over and over and over again.
It made her pee.
I don't know how anyone would have been able to watch the movie at the same time if they were listening to us, but
Right. Well, I guess the idea is you see the movie first,
yeah,
and then use the commentary to accompany it after you have experienced the film. So it's an
it all
enhanced.
makes sense to me.
I
now.
do think it's a movie that you need to watch more than once.
That's true.
It puzzles and confuses you, and then you eventually
Ah,
try to have your own ideas of what it might mean,
And then you surrender to it.
and then you just roll over, and then you're dead,
Yes.
and then it's X
Spend
day.
$1.
Right.
and you get your own pleasure saucer on the planet.
Be ready.
Keep looking.
I have a question for the gallery. If there was a drinking game made out of the documentary, what would be the top most drinking getting things in the film? Meaning every time somebody says something, or
Should be
every
a
time
frog.
somebody
Black.
does something.
I suppose.
Yeah, conspiracy.
Every time something stupid
Every time
happens.
somebody says slack.
Pink boys.
I don't think there are that
That's a good
many. I don't think there are that many words of slack
Every
in there.
time
are there?
somebody says Bob.
Or
Bob, there
conspiracy.
isn't.
Conspiracy.
Never get through that way.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
somebody, Kingsley said, drink every time you see a Dobbs head. That's it.
Oh, no.
That's the one,
That's
yeah.
for some two-fisted drinkers
We
there.
don't recommend. We're not recommending that.
That person that made that comment, by the way, is Reverend Nikolai Kingsley. He is the author of the next science fiction book we're about to publish, called Eyelash. We're back to self-publishing things, instant print, and we're starting with novels by our friends because they're easier than illustrated things for me.
What's the name of Dave's novel?
Lonesome Cowboy Dave wrote a novel called Neighbor World,
Right.
That's a really different science fiction novel. Kingsley's Eyelash is a science fiction novel that is directly tied in with SubGenius doctrine. It's an extension of the earlier anthologies that we put together, like Three-Fisted Tales, you might say. It's a whole novel. Then there's another one coming after that, The Agent and Mr. Dobbs by Reverend Teeters LaVerge. Then I think we'll probably reprint some Stark Fist issues, because I've already scanned those.
Maybe you should have a SubGenius reader with selections from all of this stuff in one anthology.
Well, we started doing a book on tape of Three-Fisted Tales of Bob, but only 3 or 4 of the authors actually recorded their story.
I wasn't asked. I would do mine, certainly.
Yeah, and you actually, maybe we should start that up again.
And Michael Pepe, I'm sure we could get to read.
Yeah, better do that quick.
Stephen Wilcox is weighing in here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He said this show was a brain reamer.
Right, you follow. It's your.
Is that good?
That's a photo that we weren't even able to obtain of you.
Mental floss.
Props, sir.
Well, what is our Sandy? Can you take us home and bring us to a final summation of tonight's event?
Sum it all up for us.
Yeah.
Wrap it into a little burrito.
Exactly.
I'm brain dead from flying. Thank you all. I'd love just bringing everybody together again. There's just so many ways to think about things and to learn to take life with a bit of humor, don't you think? And I think that's what we need to take away from here.
It was a privilege.
Right, and you can see all the differences of everybody that's just on this screen. You can imagine all the differences of the SubGenius, and they actually get along and enjoy each other's company despite the fact they're doing weirdos. So.
Up to now. Yes.
And I think my best compliment from the SubGenius gang was that they enjoyed the movie. It was very professional, but then they said, but she exposed that we're really teddy bears, and I love that because that's true. Truly true. I mean, they tried to be so scary and everything, but everybody's truly kind to me. I traveled all over the world with this movie, and it's been really amazing. And I'm a normal, so it's just like
Totally normal.
Totally normal.
Oh, totally normal. Playing a garden variety. Same old.
Yeah.
And there's my story. So anybody else have anything to say?
I just want to say thank you to
$1.
everybody. I want to say just thank you to everyone for participating and sharing this documentary with the world.
Praise Bob.
I praise Bob also, and I hope more people discover the doc from this. And it's I appreciate just seeing you all interact is awesome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad to be here.
Let's do this.
Everyone, are we ending this? Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
you. People who are commenting, we appreciate it. Oh my gosh, we had so many viewers tonight. Thank you so much. Fun times. And thank you all.
Yeah.
Hey, bye.